listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. PLE weekend once again. It feels like we've got one of these every weekend. And the main question is, are you having trouble sleeping? Get your doctor to prescribe you a Cody Rhodes Seth Rollins main event. That'll put any man out. But as always, here to break it down with me, I'm one half of your hosting team, Micah, and the co-host of the Scoop Slam Podcast, the historian, it's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, great to be back here. We're back from our hiatus, ready to talk about wrestling, and things heating up in WWE, man. So I'm really excited to talk about this crown jewel.
Not from the Middle East this time. We're in Perth, Australia, home of Rhea Ripley, and is Bronson? Is he from New Zealand?
I think he's an Aussie.
Okay, we'll lump him in here, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, we've gotten in this bad habit of just recording on PLE weekends, but I promise we're trying to do better. And we're trying to bring you guys these episodes sooner in the week, and the weekly reviews are going to be coming out probably Fridays, but we'll just play it by ear because life and work schedules changing and the whole 9 yards. But Ryan,
yes, sir.
Crown Jewel from Perth, Australia, started off with none other than the OTC Roman Reigns versus the tribal thief Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight.
Well, let's back it up a little bit, pal. Did you see the national anthem? Did you see that segment on the show?
I did not.
So they got booed out the building. Kind of turned into a thing online, bro.
The U.S. national anthem?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I didn't think it was as big of a deal as people were making it out to be online. Like, didn't this happen at the Toronto show they had? And Pat went off for like a 30-minute segment on his podcast. You remember that?
Well, not only that, but he was doing it throughout the entire show. I mean, I am kind of surprised to see the Aussies do it because, like, I don't know, they're halfway across the world. I figured we were good.
They're pretty friendly. You ever watch Bluey? They're always friendly over there, man.
I was always a big Steve Irwin kid.
Really? Like the Crocodile Hunter.
I did. My dad, oh my God, dude. I've seen every episode of River Monsters by Jeremy Wade. Not of my own volition either. My dad just like literally loved Animal Planet. It was like all we would watch.
Oh, I love me a good nature documentary now, man.
Yeah. I mean, it passes the time. That and freaking what was the other one? Not National Geographic. That's the magazine.
Discovery Channel?
Discovery. Thank you.
Yeah. It fell off. Bro, they had Honey Boo Boo on that channel at one point.
Yeah, that's when they started getting a little too far for my dad, but he just liked the nature documentaries. He would love WWE shows now with all them travel vlogs.
Oh man. He'd be in heaven.
Well, he's already there. Anyways, we got the Australia, or no, for the national anthem. No, I didn't see that. What were people saying online? Just like pissed off about it?
Yeah, just blaming our politics and stuff. But bro, I think it goes back farther than that. They've been, man, the international crowds always boo our national anthem.
Yeah,
like during. I know you weren't alive when it happened, but the 1997 storyline with Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation, and versus the USA, bro, they would play the national anthem and it would get booed. And man, it's always been a thing.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I
didn't think it was that big of a deal.
It don't break my heart because, like, when we went to the UFC event in Jacksonville a couple years ago, Rose Namajunas was fighting Zhang Wei Li, and apparently Zhang, she is from China. She apparently was upset because we were booing her. But like ultimately, it wasn't any. It was literally nothing more than like Rose is from the U.S. and Zhang is from China. I was just gonna cheer for the American girl. Like, I mean, that's just
national pride.
yeah, it's just national pride. Like, we were in Florida at the UFC event. Like, it just made sense. Same way when the American fighters go over to Brazil or France or anything like that, and if there's a native native fighter, they're gonna boo the other guy. So like, we're in Australia. Do you expect them to be like, "Yay, the U.S. national anthem"? Like,
it was weird that they had it on the show. Usually they do it when the lights are down, like the show's not on. This is a dark segment, but they did it during the show. That was weird. Unless it's like a WrestleMania, I don't see the point of doing the national anthem during the show.
No.
But,
did they play the Australian national anthem?
I don't think so. Maybe they did that in the dark segment.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they were booing. They were like, wow, you guys put this on the main show and not our anthem.
Do they have one?
I'm sure they have to, right?
It's not like we have a computer in our hands at all times. Hold up.
Yeah, there's an Australian national anthem.
Oh, okay.
I won't play it here for you guys, but it's
copyright.
Yeah, Advance Australia Fair, written by Scottish-born Australian composer Peter Dodds McCormick.
Okay, shout out him.
Yeah, shout out Gucci. But anyways, we got Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. And Ryan, I'll let you lead us off for this one.
I thought it was good for Bronson because I could tell this meant a lot to him. The last time they were in Australia for a show, he was supposed to face Seth Rollins. And I don't know if you remember what happened, but I think it was Mr. Glass himself got hurt, and so they had to call off the match. But it turned out that his wife gave birth that same weekend. So, you could tell that it meant a lot to Bronson to finally be in front of, his home country and a big spot against a top star and him getting a huge win, the biggest win of his career. So I did like that for Bronson. I thought they had a fine match. They had a lot of plunder. They had the was that a paddle? Was that something to do with cricket? I guess they had
they had rugby.
Yeah. They brought out all the gimmicks, which they should have. This was an Australian street fight. I got to take some points from Bronson. He didn't wear the jeans. It's supposed to be a street fight, no jeans. But I mean, it was entertaining, man. They had the run-ins as usual, and the aftermath of the match was interesting, and the whole finish of the match was a good finish. The spear through the table, and Jay put a little extra stank on the spear. That was probably the best spear he's ever had.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I mean, he broke Roman in half, bro. Looked like Rhino out there with a gore.
Yeah, I wish he would hit him like that all the time. And it did add extra emphasis because it was like an accident. And then if you kind of half lackadaisically do the spear, it just don't come off the same. So I was glad that he went full force with it.
What was he going for there, though? Like, Bronson had Roman up. so Roman slipped out, and it was Roman behind Bronson, and Jay was running towards Bronson, but Roman was still behind Bronson. So was Jay just going to put both of them through the table?
Yeah, just spear both of them. And Roman's going to go through the table, so he's going to take the brunt of it.
Just roll Roman on top of Bronson after that? What was he going for?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even catch that in real time.
It was a good spear.
Yeah, and I thought it was a good plunder match, like you said. I mean, I do feel like it followed the same, what's the word I'm looking for?
Same formula as all of WWE street fights. They get the Singapore cane. They get the trash can. They get the steel chair. Maybe you get something
Yeah.
special. Yeah, they
And
fall
you got to
through.
have the run-ins because
Oh,
Roman's
yeah.
involved.
Bloodline rules, pal.
Yeah, I did think the Samoan drop on the steel chair was a pretty good spot because it was unexpected and it happened like really fast. And then the way the chair looked after was just like horrible. So it definitely added to the impact. But we talked about the finish and everything. I don't. I've enjoyed the story that they're telling. And I think it's super interesting. You can see all the parallels, like the little stuff in that backstage segment they had a couple weeks ago when Jay was like, "We're gonna make them acknowledge us." Like that's
Yeah.
it's on the nose, but it's still it's telling a good story, so I've enjoyed it. I did not like Roman being like, "I'll see y'all at Christmas."
That was you didn't like that. That was funny.
I didn't need that in there. Also, they skipping the best holiday of the year.
You don't even want to see him on that day. So that shows you how angry Tribal Chief is. He said, "You know what? Thanksgiving's off. Halloween, I don't want to see you or
Get
your
out of
kids.
here.
But for Christmas, well, that's a special time for the Tribal Chief." So
Can you imagine how big the table would have to be at a Samoan Thanksgiving?
oh man, I need more
I'm
than
not
one
even
table
talking
for
about.
that.
Yeah, I ain't talking about the people either. I'm talking about like they all.
Oh,
How many
eat all
like
them.
kids do they have?
Well, are we talking about both sides of the family?
Bring them
Talking about
all
that.
in.
Okay, so do the Tongans count?
They can be there. How big is the table that Roman is the head of?
Where's Sammy sitting at? Who's he sitting beside?
uh, in between Jay and Jimmy.
Okay, all right.
Also, I had people argue with me that the honorary Oos was not Sammy's best role ever. Wrong. I do not care. Y'all will never convince me that El Generico, the mute luchador, is better than the honorary Oos.
People were saying that.
Yes, people are mad at where I put El Generico.
Bro, he had great matches. I give him that, but
That's it.
other, yeah, I was about to say. I mean, he had a great program with Steen, Kevin Owens, but I, I don't think that, I don't think that surpasses his NXT run or his honorary Oos run or his current run, for that matter. He's been carrying SmackDown last couple of months, for being honest.
Yeah, and that's what I put all those above it. And
Yeah.
El Generico at 6 is crazy. I was like, dude. I mean, all we got is matches. Like he still has good matches.
That's all they care about, bro. They care about the moves.
Well, but then the same guy, I was like, how is it not one of the best stories ever? And he was like, it's not. And so I said, okay.
What you putting over it?
I was like, the NWO, do you think that's a good story? Yeah. Okay, the NWO didn't have good in-ring work. So, like, what do you want? How could you say that the NWO had bad? They had some of the greatest in-ring work. What? Like, how can you, I don't, something's wrong with this, like, Venn diagram that I'm getting here, because if you like El Generico typically, and you think he should be, like, top 3 because of his work, you typically think that Hulk Hogan and the NWO's in-ring ability was horrible. So who is this weird hybrid that thinks both things can be true?
I think he was just trolling at that point, bro. Ain't no way he thought the NXT. Ain't no way he thought the NWO's matches were top tier. I mean, they were. I mean, they drew the house, but that doesn't mean it was the best match.
No. I mean, I did probably fall for the rage bait, honestly,
Yeah,
so they
ain't
got
no
me
way.
good. But coming out of this, Ryan, what do you see for Jay, Roman, and Jimmy? Is there a conclusion to this? Is there something you see maybe before Christmas?
I see them getting back together before Christmas. Yeah, I can see a War Games situation still looming on the horizon, but the the aftermath of Raw, we may have gotten a little shakeup at the top that's going to trickle down to the bottom. So I don't know quite yet. I don't know where this is going. I was hoping that we were going to get a Jay Roman storyline, maybe a program going into WrestleMania, but I don't know right now because now with the circumstances surrounding Monday, I don't know where that leaves a lot of guys.
Yeah, and we'll get to the aftermath of Raw and kind of see where we think they may be going. But yeah, I will say Raw after this Monday is almost must watch just to
Yeah. Oh yeah.
see where things go because there's so many open-ended threads where like any of the guys that have been feuding in the main event, Jay, LA Knight, Punk, like I could see any of them turning heel.
Yeah. And they're all due for one, a heel turn.
Yeah.
And
And then
Raw was needed Raw needed a shot, and that's what we
yeah,
got.
and we'll break that down a little bit further. But next up, we've got for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vaquer. Right off the
Yeah.
jump, I think that immediately you could tell there is a noticeable difference between these two in the ring. And it's not the one that's been champion all year. Let me just say that.
Mm.
I like Tiffany. I think that she has potential.
Did you see Wade in the match saying that Tiffany has two clear advantages over Stephanie? Did you see
I
that?
I did hear that, and I immediately thought of how we talk. Like every time I say something, yeah, she has a good gimmick.
She's got two of them.
It did. It's so funny that you brought that up because I was like, I'm not gonna bring that up because he probably won't even think about it. And sure enough, you did. I just don't know, man. I don't understand the stranglehold that Tiffany has had on the division, especially when she gets in the ring with a girl or a lady that has been in WWE for a cup of coffee, basically, and she's already better to me in the ring than her. She looks way more natural. She doesn't like Tiffany. Tiffany to me looks like she's going through the motions, like what has already been played out in her mind and rehearsed. And Stephanie looks a little like on the fly, I guess is the best way I can describe it.
Well,
So
I'm not the biggest Tiffany Stratton fan at all, man, but that's just the difference to the PC and them grabbing people and training them from scratch, not letting them learn from different people and learn different crowds and travel the US making towns and working the indie scene versus Stephanie, which she's been wrestling for 11 or 12 years, and she's been wrestling in Japan, Mexico, wrestled a little bit in the US. So you really can't compare the two as far as in ring, because Tiffany's been wrestling for 4 years, I think.
but see, then why has she been champion all year? I don't know, man. I'm just kind of over it.
Yeah, yeah, she needs a heel turn, and bro, being honest, she needs a whole persona turn. Like, I'm just not, I'm not liking the whole. Like, what is Tiffany Stratton at this point?
I don't know because she came in as like the daddy's girl type gimmick, and they kind of pivoted from that. So she's just kind of like pretty girl. I don't know.
The blonde girl, number three.
Yeah, I mean, like seriously, other it's Tiffy time. That's her gimmick. Like
Yeah,
she's just pretty blonde girl. Like I don't. I'm really not trying to just like dumb it down to that, but that's kind of all
that's
that we know about her.
it's really one dimensional. And if you like that type of stuff, that's what you like. But for me personally, I like a little bit more. I like a little bit more substance to my world champion.
Yeah.
But
I
with
mean, I
Tiffany
thought,
Stratton, I don't know who she is, bro. I really don't. And she's not giving me a
no.
reason to care about what she does. And the booking hasn't made me care about what she does. I mean, if you're a gooner, I'm sure you love Tiffany Stratton. But if you take away the Kleenex and the lotion beside beside you and open your eyes and see what this really is, I don't think she deserved the spot she's been in for the last year.
No, I don't either. I get the like. I'm fine with her being a world champion. It's just it's been going for a long time. I think they should have crowned Jade. And I know
Yeah,
that there's going to be people listening to this right now that are going to say, "Well, you just dogged Tiffany for not having experience. How can you say that about Jade?" But like Tiffany's had the belt for what? Over close to a year now, right? Or over.
it's been almost a year.
So, I don't think it would have hurt her, but
I,
anyways, as far as the match goes, I thought it was fine. It was passable. There was nothing just like overly egregious about it. I could see Tiffany kind of going through the routine at the start of the match. It got a little better as it went on. I do think Stephanie has probably the best dragon screw in wrestling right now. And I thought that when she had the match with Io, because it always looks just super menacing. And the spiral tap was nice, and I thought that it was a good booking decision to have Stephanie go over.
you thought that spiral tap looked nice? She almost
I mean,
killed Tiffy, bro.
it looked like it hurt. I'll say that.
I don't know if she should be pulling that move off. That's how she's gonna be landing on people.
Well, she took her
I would
landing lessons from Jeff Hardy.
I wouldn't want to take that bump.
Oh, but I mean, again. It looks like it hurts, so there is a trade off.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you got a point. It felt a little abrupt, that finish. Felt like they probably could have went a couple more minutes. But yeah, I mean, it was fine for what it was. Not egregious. Felt like maybe a SmackDown match with less commercials.
Yeah, I think
And Tiffy,
in my old age, 10-minute match.
oh yeah. But this was supposed to be like a big champion versus champion showdown, and I think it speaks a lot to the how they feel about Stephanie, that she's been on the main roster what 8 months now, Micah, and she has beaten Tiffany Stratton clean, and she's beaten Io Sky clean.
Yeah,
Like
I think they see money with her.
and over the last calendar year, Micah, she's won 4 championships technically.
Kylie in 8 months.
Yeah, she's won the women's North American champion NXT. She was the women's NXT champion. She was the women's world champion right now, and now she's the crown jewel champion. And that title is that they have for the crown jewel. That looks ridiculous, man. Did you see them put it on Stephanie?
Oh yeah, well, not it looked huge on Seth too. That thing's massive. Like it was literally up to Seth's like diaphragm. It was covering like his whole stomach.
Triple H got to be out there for that.
Well, I did pop for when Seth said, "We've done this before, boss man." So for that, I'll let it slide.
All right, I don't know.
Well, let's get to the big talking point out of Crown Jewel, which is John
Mm.
Cena versus AJ Styles, the dream match from 2005. Um, and before you give your take here, Ryan, I want to make everyone, including you, feel old for a minute. SmackDown Live now is almost 10 years ago,
Mm.
and the 2006 TNA versus WWE, kind of where it was like these two were the leaders of the new era, is also almost, or it's 20
Wow,
years now.
wow,
So that makes you feel old.
man, it made me feel old when AJ came out with the old school gear on, bro.
Oh yeah, but I liked it a lot though. It was a cool nod.
It felt like you ever play WWE 2K and they got like a retro character
Yeah,
that you can play with, and they don't face scan the retro guy, so they just give him the current old man face scan, but he's
Shawn
wearing
Michaels.
yeah, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, they did that with like Carmelo Anthony on 2K for a long time too.
Oh
But
God, yeah, you're right. And then it would come off so, and even they would do that with like young Braun.
yeah,
Like his hairline would be going back, and it's like 03 LeBron.
yeah. But I thought it was a nice touch. The retro gear that AJ was wearing, and I swear the whole entire crowd was wearing the banana yellow for John
Oh
Cena.
God,
It
yeah,
felt like a
dude.
John Cena home game, bro. Yellow
Yeah,
out.
it was crazy.
Yeah. Like they must
And I
did they
mean,
give those shirts away or was that just purchased? I would love to see the merch numbers for that show.
I would have to say purchase, but then again, I mean, you got to think they don't come to Australia that often, and it was like like it's the last time Cena's going to be there, so already you got people buying it for that, and it's like themed to Australia because it had like the Australian logos and like kangaroos, and I think it was even modeled after like their soccer jerseys or whatever.
It
So
it was a sea of yellow.
there's a joke somewhere in there, but I can't
Oh,
I
well,
can't place it.
hold up now. I mean,
Oh
say
no,
that.
no, no! I didn't mean it like that. I just meant there's probably some kind of joke that you could make there. I just can't think of anything.
Oh, okay, okay. All right.
Maybe like an R.
Say,
Kelly joke.
yeah, maybe a Vince McMahon joke. I don't know.
Ah, yeah. Well, there we go. Now that would
There you go, pal.
be a sea of.
Oh, what are we
Kind of
doing?
sounded like him there for a minute. Anyways, I don't know how we got here.
What are we doing here, man?
John Cena versus AJ Styles. Um, I'm very interested to hear what you had to say about this. I want to give a couple just things that I liked. There were so many callbacks here, but my two favorites were obviously the Sister Abigail, which was just such a cool moment because then the entire crowd, just like you were talking about the yellow shirts, it just lit up with all the fireflies. I thought that was such a cool moment and a cool nod that Cena did that. And then a little later in the match, AJ broke out the springboard 450, which I don't know how long it's been since we've seen that, but I thought that was very cool.
Is this the most fan servicey type match the WWE has ever done?
Yes.
Do you think it's more fan service than WrestleMania 40? Because that was a lot of fan service too. The main event, WrestleMania 40.
I would say yes.
If
I
it was
don't
anybody
know.
else, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I think we were about to say the same thing. I'll let you finish.
I was gonna say if it was anybody else that did this, if this was, I don't know, if this was Xavier Woods and Penta on a random match on Raw that did 7 or 8 different finishers, I probably would have more of a problem with it. But it did work for that audience, Micah. And you can't say that they didn't have them the whole way. They had the audience. So
Yeah.
for that, I'll give them credit. But at what point do we say, all right, enough's enough? Look, because I wrote this down, Micah. Do you want to know how many quote unquote callbacks Cena hit in this match?
Oh, just Cena? Because AJ hit about
Well,
5
yeah,
or.
we'll go through both. How about we go through both?
Okay.
Which
All
one?
right.
Which one you want first? You want Cena or Styles?
Let's go with AJ first.
Okay, so AJ in this match, AJ Styles hit the Scorpion Death Drop, which shout out Sting, the Coquina Clutch, Samoa Joe, He hit the Angel's Wings, Christopher Daniels. He hit the, I didn't know at the time, but somebody pointed out online, but the Deadeye, which is the Fade to Black, it's Frankie Kazarian's finisher.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, you didn't see him hit the Deadeye, AJ?
Oh, okay. Deadeye is the current. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you. Deadeye is what
Frankie
they call it now
Kazarian.
for Hangman.
That's Frankie Kazarian's finisher first, I guess. I don't remember him hitting that in TNA, but apparently he did. The attitude adjustment, he hit that on John Cena, and he tuned up the band to Sweet Chin Music. So AJ hit
Which
6 finishers.
I will say for the Sweet Chin Music, I think that also could have been a callback to James Storm, but because he tuned
Oh
up the
yeah,
band, I think it was Sean.
and that was one of the best super kicks I've seen.
Oh, of
Like,
course.
it was AJ Styles, phenomenal. But
Yeah.
so AJ hit 6 finishers. You want to know how many? And that's not counting his finishers. So we're at 6. You want to know how many John Cena?
For the joke, I hope it's 7.
It's not. It's number 8. But
One,
got
one number away from
one
greatness.
number. There you go. There you go.
Either
You got
direction, actually.
You get the skull crushing finale, Miz. You got the accolade, Rusev. The walls of Jericho.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. One more
Go
thing.
ahead.
I thought it was so funny that he did the skull crushing finale and then the accolade. Because in my Cena rebook thing the other day, did I not have the first week of like Cody and Cena's thing that he would make the Miz face Cody and then the next week it was Rusev versus Cody? I just thought that was a weird correlation, but
Okay, so you think they're watching your videos again?
man, somebody's listening.
Well, actually, going off Raw, they might have been listening. But yeah, okay. Hit the walls of Jericho. He hit the Sister Abigail, which that was a nice moment afterwards with all the fireflies, like you said.
Yeah.
The second rope DDT, Randy Orton. He hit the RKO, Randy Orton. The choke slam, which a lot of people saying was Kane, but I would say more Big Show.
That's
I
what
feel
I
like
thought
Big
too.
Show and Cena had more of a rivalry throughout the years. And of course, the Tombstone Pile Driver and the tease, which was great, by the way, of the 619. He didn't hit it, but he teased it. I thought that one in particular was well done. But so we're at 14 finishers for both guys.
God almighty. Well, I will say the 619 was a good moment because the fans literally started chanting for 619. So I
Oh man,
hope that was a spur of the moment decision.
they wanted it, bro. Well, I wouldn't put it past these guys. These guys, they're one of the old school guys that can call it in the ring. Cena literally
Yeah.
does call it in the ring because you can hear him yelling out the spots to his opponents. But yeah, this I don't want to say that this is a bad match. This is not a bad match because it did work for the arena and the people watching the match had fun for the most part. But me personally, man, I think it's probably gonna go down as the most overrated match of all time. But
Not
oh, go ahead.
well, I'll let you finish.
It's probably the most overrated match when it's all said and done, at least this year. Just because they relied a little too much on the finisher spam, even though we just got that last month with Logan Paul and Cena. Did people forget that already?
It was worse with this one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not saying
it
the
was
match was worse. I'm just,
no
that there was more finishers.
more finishers. And this happened, bro, with the Logan Paul match. This was the same formula that John Cena's been following over the last. Actually, you know what? I feel like he's been pulling this off with the. You remember the Sami Zayn match he had
Yep.
on SmackDown? I feel like he done the shout out to all his rivals on that one too. Has he been doing that his last 3 or 4 matches?
I think since Cody at SummerSlam, and don't quote me, but I want to say that he did one in that match too.
So, like I said, man, it's the people online saying they cried and that this was a 5-star classic. This was better than the Royal Rumble match, better than the SummerSlam match.
Is that a
I don't know
shoot?
what those guys.
People were crying.
Oh yeah, it's online, pal. Yeah, online, pal. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't see that. And it's probably got. This is 50-year-old Cena, so this is all he has at this point is to rely on the finisher spam. But this was fine. This did its job. Just a little overrated in my opinion.
I think that weirdly enough, me and you feel pretty much the same about this because I didn't watch it live. And I feel like that takes away from it because I knew it was going to be finisher spam and I knew they did all these callbacks. So I was expecting all of this to happen. I think, if nothing else in wrestling, two things can be true, which is sometimes you're just so over that it doesn't matter. It just works.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case here because it really boils down to, like you said, if it was Xavier Woods and Penta, okay, whatever, this is garbage, finisher spam. But you have to put it in the lens of who is doing it. And like you said, the in arena fans enjoyed it, and that's who it was for. So that's your two things. Sometimes you're just over enough that it works, and sometimes you just have to turn your brain off and accept that, okay, this is just a moment, and that's all it is. Like, it was good for the time, but looking back, I don't think it's going to be match of the year or 5 stars or
What?
anything like that because, and that's why when you asked me about the WrestleMania 41, I still think that's an excellent match, independent of what happens at the end. But this, like, it almost immediately just evolved into that. And then it felt so almost rehearsed because, like, Cole was like, oh, the coquina clutch for Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, the Angel's Wings for Christopher Daniels. Like, it just felt really,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, they
I get
almost had to hand him Michael Cole a paper. It was like, okay,
Give him a cue card.
yeah, here's everybody's move we're hitting, and here's
Yeah.
everybody's move. Like,
I don't buy that Michael Cole knows what Christopher Daniels' finisher is. I don't buy that.
well, even I could even buy it to some extent because he always brings up this like random lore about the Japanese women's wrestlers. I don't know. I guess Michael Cole's a big Stardom fan, but I just don't. It's the cadence. It's something about the way it came off. Now, I say all that to say this. I enjoyed it. I think it's a good match. I think if you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Yeah.
But to say that it's like even close to the greatest match this year or like it made people tear up, that's just kind of crazy to me.
It was a love letter to the fans, Micah.
We've lost the plot, man. The plot is so far gone. Like, everybody just, and I don't know, maybe people think the same thing about us. Like, maybe they think we're just galaxy braining it and overthinking everything. But I think these people like galaxy brain that, like, oh, we know everything about wrestling, and so, like, what does it matter that we know it's fake and that they rehearse all these moves, and so they plan to bring all these moves in to pop us? Like, we're the fans. This is for the fans. Which, like, yeah, sure, but I mean, Jesus, can you not give me like a genuine like feud between some guys, like a real life issue?
Yeah,
That's why LA Knight and Punk feels so fresh because it's like a legit, like, it's two guys that want a better spot on the card.
Yeah. That's how wrestling should be. That's when wrestling is done the right way. That's when wrestling is most exciting. Is when two guys have a personal issue and you want to see what's going to happen with those two guys. So you pay ticket to watch those two guys settle it in the squared circle. But see, that's where this match didn't do it for me as much either because we didn't get a story going into this match. In
Yeah.
fact, AJ Styles cut a promo on, I think it was Raw. He said, we don't need a story. And I'm looking, I'm like, well, that's the problem. Why don't we have a story? You tell me John Cena can cut some via satellite promos going into this match? Bro, this whole feud was built up on X, on Twitter, on
This
IG.
whole Cena run has been lack of storytelling, just like the name carries him into the match.
Yeah. And I don't think that's how like this whole last year Cena, bro, it's just gonna be remembered as a big wasted opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just at the point, honestly, like I have come to respect the guy, and he means a lot to wrestling fans. Like people love him, and to be honest, there's a subsection of fans that probably will stop watching whenever Cena's done, and that's okay. Like you, sometimes you just have your favorites.
Well, a lot of people stopped watching when Cena was on top.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I've never had that personal connection with Cena, and I'm at the point in the year where it feels like I'm kind of just ready for it to be over because it feels like they have to work a match in to every show or every pay-per-view. And it's good that they do, but they don't do any of the like what I don't know how to explain. It's like we're skipping to the last chapter. We're just here's the match and there's no setup. There's no
Yeah.
anything, and that's just not the kind of wrestling that I enjoy. I like slow burn stories that build up to this culmination of a feud. And I'm not talking about a 2-year slow burn looking at you, Seth and Punk. But anyways, going back to the match itself, again, two things can be true and can be excuses for matches like this. Sometimes you're just over, and if the people stick with it, then there's not a whole lot I can say. Kind of like Hangman Moxley at All In. It was not for me, and I personally didn't just like super enjoy and love the match. But at the end of the day, the people in attendance were very much into it. So there's only so much I can say.
Well, so they a couple more things about this match, Mike, and we can move on. But John Cena won. I think they were 2-2 going into this match, so this was the tiebreaker. So John Cena wins. I think a lot of the news coming out of the weekend that got lost was AJ Styles officially saying that he is done in 2026. So, do you got any thoughts about AJ hanging up the boots in 2026?
Uh, it really makes me sad because I remember being a kid, like watching young AJ on TNA. I mean, I'm very glad to see where he's come and thinking all the way back to like 2009, 2010 when I was really locked into TNA. Um, to see him now all the way in WWE and having reached the mountaintop and doing all that. It's just it kind of boils down to one of those things of you start to remember these guys are human too, and they have families at home. So if AJ can retire and be healthy and manage to be mobile, you know what I mean? Then I'm happy for him because I don't want somebody to be coming out looking like Devon Dudley.
Hey, now,
just
calm
hang him
down.
up.
Calm down. You know what? I don't see AJ. I don't see him fully retiring like a John Cena hard retired the last match, the last time you ever see me. I can see AJ getting back in the ring periodically after 2026.
Are we talking in WWE or maybe like your
No, he's a lifer in WWE. They're gonna take care of AJ. He's gonna get a legend sponsor. But I can see AJ coming back here and there for one-off matches. He's still so good.
I know that's the crazy thing. And even with all that muscle that he's added, like he's still pretty agile.
Yeah, he
Agile?
can. That both works. But he can still go, man. And if AJ gets one last WWE title run, world title run, I know we talk about the age, the youth movement, we need it desperately. But man, I wouldn't frown at a AJ Styles title run in 2026.
No, because uh, here's the thing. We talk about the age thing all the time. And I don't know, people are going to call us ageist, which I've already gotten that. And oh, you just don't like old people. Like, whatever. But, anyways, here's the thing about AJ. He can still work every week. He's still there every week. He can still tell good stories in the ring, out of the ring, yada yada. It's when you have a guy like Cena and Brock and I love the guy, but even Roman at this point where it's part-time and they're just hogging the spotlight, like, man, where's Oba? Where's somebody like I'm so ready for a Oba main roster run. Just put the freaking world title on him immediately. Have him beat Cody.
Oba, Javon Evans, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page. They got young guys with charisma.
Yeah.
We just don't see them on Raw and SmackDown because you got, Mr. Freakin' and I don't know. Name any main eventer here. They're gonna be 45 plus when you name them.
Yeah. But when I said that, oh my god, dude, the freaking vitriol about people just, oh, how could you say that? Like, you're gonna miss these guys when they're gone. Like, I don't know, man. They were there when I stopped watching, and I came back, and they're still here.
Yeah, bro. I think you can't have the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys in 5 years. Like, what is going to be the marquee attractions that we're going to see 10 years from now on like a retirement type tour? Who's going to be in that type of spot if they're not big stars right now? Like, what are we waiting on?
I don't know. And this was the same kind of crap, funny enough, that like caused Cody to leave all them years ago because it's the same cycle. But the funny thing is like the same guys that were over Cody then in the pecking order are still in WWE. Cody just managed to rise up to their level. But like, I don't know, man. You could take I don't want to say, well, I guess like the North American Championship division and just make that the Intercontinental Championship division. And then we have a great, like, you can add some of the older guys in, Kofi, even like AJ, Dom, and then mix in Javon and Ethan Page. Like, dude, that's an all-time mid-card. Like, you could tell great stories with those guys and have quick little like 1 month title reigns. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody has to hold the belt for 6 months for it to be meaningful.
Yeah, I agree, man. We need a youth movement, and it looks like they're going in that direction. We'll see. But yeah, man. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Micah, and then we can go on to the next match. Do you have any predictions for Cena's last opponent? Because there's been rumors online about Gunther.
That's who I think is the smart pick. I couldn't really see anybody else. Like, I almost want to say Dom, but I just don't know that has the marquee.
Well, one of Cena's last dates is for the Survivor Series, and that's in San Diego. And Dirty Dom is from San Diego. So I feel like the plan here is to have a one-off IC title match with Cena and Dirty Dom in San Diego. I can see that happening.
Think they let him win it? He's never held it.
No, you can't. You can't, right?
I don't know. It's the one title he's never held.
But then I don't like when the retired guys win titles on the way out.
You could drop it back to Gunther if that's his last opponent.
Do you think we get like a tournament to decide John Cena's last opponent? Like kind of what they did going into WrestleMania 29 with Undertaker? You remember they had a tournament to figure out who was going to be Undertaker's opponent at WrestleMania that year, and that's when CM Punk won. Remember that?
I do remember that. I hadn't thought about that as a way to get
You
the
could
final
have
opponent, but I would be okay with that, I think.
yeah, you could have a bunch of John Cena's old opponents in the tournament, like a Miz, like a Sheamus, Rusev. They could have those type of guys. Man, bring back Carlito for one night. Put him in the tournament. You could have something like that, and Gunther comes out on top. Would it? How crazy would it be if Gunther retires Goldberg and John Cena in 1 year? And you know what? I wish they would have kept the AJ Styles stuff retirement secret, because I wouldn't mind an AJ Styles versus Gunther match at WrestleMania, and that'd be like AJ's retirement match.
Yeah, I can see it. And then just have Gunther be this like beater of, I don't know how. Yeah, maybe that's maybe I should rephrase that.
Gunther the beater. Okay, all right.
Yeah, well, don't
Well-
take that one to the bank, kids. We'll workshop it. But yeah, I think Gunther's a smart choice. I think that Gunther was the smart choice to be his WrestleMania opponent if he had just turned babyface or just stayed babyface, which in the long run, that's what they should have done. But here we are all these months later. We'll move on to the next match, which is just kind of a quick hitter. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors. Personally, I thought it was fine. I think they could have shaved like 5 minutes off, and because I want to say this one was like almost a 20-minute match. Meanwhile, the Vicaire Tiffany match was like 10. I think they could have gave it the extra 5 minutes to that, had both of them be 15, in and out. It would have been fine. But overall, there's nothing egregious. I do think Rhea and Io are probably the best women's wrestlers in the world on any given day. And Rhea got a big reaction. It was the home crowd, the whole 9 yards. But in terms of like how invested I was in the match and the story, it was just kind of here.
I think it was Rhea's birthday too. What?
Oh, I don't know. That would be cool.
I think it was. Yeah, man, it felt like a Raw match for me. I know Rhea got the monster pop, and the crowd was hot throughout the whole match for Rhea and for pretty much all the ladies, But I haven't been invested in the story, and Io and Rhea win. I don't know if that's what I would have done, but shout out to them. And yeah, we move on.
Yeah, there's wasn't a whole lot to really break down there, but we move on to the main event. Sponsored by your favorite brand of melatonin, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship.
Huh.
Where do we begin here?
I think if Cody was probably distracted with the MLK heel turn, that probably threw him off a little bit, man. Have you been following that online? The MLK heel turn?
God.
I think that was in Cody's head and distracted him. If Cody wouldn't have seen that, he probably would have won this match. But he's so distraught about his hero turning.
So I'm so interested by the chain of events here, because why, like, I've seen other AI videos.
Oh, okay.
But why are the majority of them like about wrestling? Like, everybody has seen the MLK heel turn. Like Bob Ross.
I've been getting videos sent to me by people that aren't fans.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're super popular, but like, why is this what we're using this app for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, wrestling is this niche sort of thing. Like, why are these the most popular things coming out of it? Because I saw one with Tupac and Biggie, and it was actually pretty well made. Now,
which one?
I'm not gonna get on the train of like why AI is bad. I think we all know, and I think the Sora stuff is like scary at this point, how good it's getting. But it's so weird to me. It's so weird that the wrestling AI videos are like massively popular.
They are. Yeah. You seen the Stephen Hawking one where he's on top of the Hell in a Cell?
I did not see that. I saw a different one where he did a dive through the ladder. It sounds like a South Park sketch, if I'm being completely honest.
Oh, man, they're really well done too. Like the MLK heel turn had me. I was hooked on.
No, it's terrifying though, because I saw
Oh yeah.
they made an episode of I don't know if maybe you guys out there are anime fans, but they made a whole episode of My Hero Academia where the main character, Deku, like worked at McDonald's.
Oh yeah. I've been hearing the stories where you can just make up like whole episodes of any animated show that you want.
Yeah, and that's terrifying. Like I think I don't know. And here's the scarier part about it, because I saw TikTok about this. We now, the general public have access to this kind of stuff. So think about what the higher ups and
Oof.
everybody, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what can you believe anymore? That's really terrifying with no regulations. But in
It
terms of the wrestling stuff, I do think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, man. I don't know how history is gonna be looked back on if like AI keeps on advancing. Like, how are you gonna know what's real, what really happened?
Yeah, that's what I'm
That,
saying. Like,
yeah,
it's a
that's insane.
slippery slope.
And think about being one of those old 60-year-old granddads or grandmothers out there scrolling on Facebook. You see, what they got on Facebook? Facebook Reels. Is that what it's called?
Oh man, yeah.
And then they see the AI stuff.
Oh, it's already bad enough on there. Like they believe the stuff that's like blatant AI. Like me and you could tell immediately this is AI. But I don't know if you saw a video of, was it Jake Paul, where he was like doing
Oh yeah,
makeup and it was like a
that
he
got
was
me.
coming out.
That got me for a sec. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, it was borderline. The only way I knew it was I was like, oh, he looks a little fatter than he normally is, and then I looked and it was AI. I was like, oh, but I was like, holy crap! Most people are gonna fall for this.
Yeah. I heard there's a lot of CP going out there too. Like a
I heard
lot.
that too. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's insane.
How is that well, you know what? Never mind. You can't understand the mind of demented people like that. But how is that like already that prevalent?
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting the next 10 years of AI, because just looking back at the last 3 years, an advancement they had so fast. Like, you remember that Will Smith video of him eating spaghetti?
Yep, everybody's seen it.
And that was just 3 or I think maybe 4 years ago. And now, oh man. But we digress. We gotta talk about this main event here.
Yeah, anything but this main event. This main
I
event felt like AI.
yeah. You know what? If they would just put on the MLK heel turn art as the main event, I'd have been happy. But yeah, man, I wasn't a fan of this match. I think they done a lot better. Their last 3 matches they've had together. They had the Hell in a Cell match, the Backlash match, and they had the WrestleMania match, which Seth Rollins lost every single one. This, I don't. Maybe it's the jet lag. I don't know. They just didn't. They didn't click in here for me, and maybe the match went on a little too long, too many kickouts. Man, Cody Rhodes hit a top rope crossroads to Seth. He kicked out. Seth kicked out
Yeah,
of the top rope crossroads, an avalanche crossroads.
that one really bothered me.
That was egregious. And Seth actually, you know what? That move he hit, the coast to coast headbutt, was actually pretty cool. But looking back at it, that that probably ended his main event run for the
I was
foreseeable
about to
future.
say that's probably that right there is the butterfly effect on
There you go.
Life is Strange. You hit that headbutt, you just see the little butterfly in the corner.
Braun Breaker will remember that. Yeah, I
Yes.
can't believe. Yeah, that's man. You know it.
It might be better to say Dr. Andrews will remember that.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what else to say about the match. It was there. They had a good story going in, and they were planting the seeds throughout the whole storyline about Seth needing the win. He has to do anything for the win. Seth wearing the watch that Cody gave him. Cody gave Seth a watch going into WrestleMania 40, and Seth never wore the watch. But throughout the whole storyline, Seth was wearing that watch, and the watch played a part in the finish, which I did like. I liked that they told a story. Seth couldn't beat Cody 1-on-1, so he had to rely on nefarious ways to beat Cody. And Seth finally got what he wanted. He finally beat Cody, which he said that he needed to do. But other than that, man, I didn't think it was I thought it was their worst match they've had.
Yeah, I think that the first one had the plus of Cody's return. The last one had the plus of the gimmicks, and even Cody's kind of gimmick with the pec tear. It was real, but you know what I mean. Like they were working it. It added to the match. I think with this, it just kind of felt paint by the numbers to me. Like there was nothing that I hadn't seen before, and if it was something I hadn't seen before, like an Avalanche Crossroads, they didn't do it right. And I think that I think you said it best earlier in a text message to me, where you said that these two are probably the most boring wrestlers right now. I'm just so fatigued. And so then when you throw them in a main event together, I really couldn't care less who had won or lost.
At least they had a story going into it, unlike the Stephanie Pippen
Yeah.
story, which was non-existent,
I
or the
mean, and it
Cena
was,
AJ Styles story that was non-existent.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. It was one of the only stories going into this show. But yeah, I will say this: the one thing that I did like outside of the headbutt, because I thought that was really cool. But like you said, now where are we? I thought when Cody went for the disaster kick and Seth kind of like met him at the rope and turned it into a sit out power bomb, I thought that was cool. But I don't know, man. It's something about these two right now. Like they both feel almost the same, almost like parallels of each other. They have this cadence, and if they could get out of it, like if Seth could quit doing the goofy ha 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 shriek type thing that he does, and if Cody could get out of being this like fake faux politician, then they could actually be good because I'm sure you remember because we raved about it, but that promo that Cody cut on Raw a couple years ago before WrestleMania 39, he was super like, I don't want to like gassed up, like all of his veins were popping out, and it was lively. Like it's probably one of the best Cody promos in WWE, and we don't get that anymore. It's Dean Withers light.
Deep cut, deep cut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man,
mean,
I agree, man. I just the two most stale wrestlers in the main event scene had a match in the main event. What did you think was going to happen?
yeah,
I I mean, we got what we expected. If they would have
we
had
were
a
there.
5-star classic, I probably would have been more. I would have been I would have been way more surprised if they gave me that than what they gave me here.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I expected. And that's the thing about Seth that gets me because I remember when we said he was overrated a couple months ago, or we didn't even say that he was. We just said, is he? Uh, and people just jump down our throat about it. But it's like, oh, well, he was a great world champion a couple years ago. Really? What great feud did he have? The one with Finn Balor? Like
Oh,
it's the same Seth match every time you see it. It's the same Cody match every time you see it.
and Seth can have good matches. It's just I haven't been invested in his storylines enough to care about his matches.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's faced CM Punk, if they would have had that when it was red hot, when CM Punk first got back, I'd been a lot more invested. But after 2 years of Seth cackling and them doing the same old Monday Night, all security gets called out there, that got old. And we said it on the podcast months ago, bro, that when Seth Rollins is the main attraction, main world heavyweight champion on Raw or SmackDown or any show, the show suffers.
People
And
didn't want to believe it.
I feel like Cody is at that same level at this point, as far as he's the main focal point of SmackDown. And let's be honest, bro, SmackDown has not been good for the last, I don't know, year and a half. SmackDown's a skippable show at this point. That's why that's one of the reasons we changed our recording schedule, because we don't need to watch SmackDown. Most weeks we don't watch SmackDown live, and we don't catch any. We hardly catch any segments on the show from SmackDown because nothing happens. Nothing happens, and that's
Yeah.
we got to point the finger at the 3-star general himself. I mean, I've been praying they take the title off Cody, man. I really hope they don't keep this title on Cody going into WrestleMania.
Oh, they
But
are, pal. Get ready
yeah,
for Randy Cody.
but I texted you, man, after SmackDown, when they had that SmackDown Australia right before Crown Jewel. I said, bro, if they just put the title on Aleister Black, I would be so much more. I would be more likely to watch the show on a week-to-week basis than to have Cody Rhodes come out there in suit and tie and 30-minute entrance and him pandering to the crowd and saying his catchphrase. What do you want to talk about? That it's just it's killed my interest in SmackDown, bro.
See, and if you took everything you just said, except for what do you guys want to talk about, you could have applied that immediately to Seth Rollins. It's the same character, just a different font. Like,
One's blue, one's red.
yes, quite literally. Take the blue pill and you're Cody Rhodes. Take the red pill and you're Seth Rollins. Yeah,
It's great. It's great. They held up the company at WrestleMania 40, and now we're in the midst of one of the worst periods over the last 5 years. It's because of those guys
yeah.
right there.
I don't think the booking has helped them either, because some of it is the fact that Cody has no built-up heel challengers. Seth don't have that luxury. Seth has great baby faces to go against. You're just more interested in seeing his underlings than you are him. And speaking of, we can segue that into Raw, because we got the turn. Braun Breaker spears Seth Rollins after the credits and everything had rolled. It was huge shock. And I didn't know how to feel about it at the time, because I thought maybe it's too early. Maybe they're jumping the gun. Like, this group just got started. But maybe you'll feel the same kind of way that I do, Ryan. We here on the podcast, off the podcast, however you want to say it, have begged for unpredictability and things not taking forever. And they finally delivered. So, like, I can't complain, because this checks all the boxes for me. Is it moving towards a younger main event scene? Yes. Did it not take 2 years for something to happen? Yes. Did anyone expect this coming into Raw? No. So, like, right there, that's everything I need, man. I'm hooked to watch next Monday, and that's what I've been wanting. Not, oh, well, I know what's happening on Raw this week.
Yeah, bro, the people saying, oh, it's too soon. Oh, it's too soon to turn Braun Breaker against Seth. No. No, we don't need 2 more years of the Vision coming out here and cutting the same promos every single week, man. This is the perfect time to do it. In fact, they probably should have done it around August, but better late than never. And I think Seth Rollins is he's getting the Edge treatment for when Edge was in the Judgment Day. I think the Vision's going to be a better faction without Seth.
Yeah,
Imagine
I
them
don't doubt
adding
that at all because a couple months ago, whenever he was gone, we said here on the podcast, "Wow, look at how good this group is," and then Seth has to come back eventually.
Yeah, exactly. And if they add a third guy, man, that'd be even better. 'Cause, I mean, we've been hearing the rumors. Austin Theory, he's healthy, and supposedly he's been rumored to be in line for a big main event level push. I mean, that'd be a match made in heaven. He has the history with Steph. He's got the pinfall victory over John Cena, so he's no stranger to the main event scene. I feel like he got done dirty by the booking over the last 3 years of Triple H's tenure. But I mean, Austin Theory's still a young guy, and he would fit in like a glove with Division. Heyman,
Yeah.
with those three guys. I mean,
And
just
he's a
let him.
good bump guy too, because him and
He is.
Bronson could form a tag team if Braun's going to move to the main event scene.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
Theory can be the guy to take the bumps. I mean, eventually, yeah, I feel like he needs a mid card title or something, but
Yeah, bro. Having the youth movement, it's finally arrived. It's here. We needed it. And I'm conflicted because I don't know if this is a work. Because I've been hearing online that Seth is legit injured. But Micah, didn't we just do this in July? Was this not a story going, oh, Seth is legit injured? And then a month later, he's dropping the crutches in the main event of SummerSlam and cashing in on CM Punk. So is this like the boy who cried wolf situation, Micah? Are you buying this or work? Or is this legit injury? What do you think?
I think it's legit injury. Because so even when I saw people say that, I didn't buy that it was a work because, like you said, it becomes boy who cried wolf. Too many people expect it this time, therefore, I don't think it's going to happen. And it's not one of those things where it's like sometimes the expected result is the best result, and you shouldn't deviate. Nah, like this is going a little too far to work the people because even if they come back a month later like, what was the point? You know what I mean?
Well,
They
hold up now. You remember who won the main event of Raw? It was CM Punk. And that was the number one contendership on the line. So CM Punk's the new number one contender. So maybe this is all a ruse for CM Punk, I guess.
I just don't buy that they do that again. And if they do, then it's just gonna feel really, really lame.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we just did this. But also Ibu, which I'm a big fan of, and I think he gets a lot of unwarranted hate. Apparently he was getting like death threats or like slurs in his DMs because he said it wasn't a work. I mean, Jesus, some people take this wrestling stuff too serious, but he basically alluded to the fact that like the turn was planned, but it was planned for way down the line. So them bringing it up here all but confirms that Seth probably isn't going to be here for a little bit. And because he said that the plan for War Games was to have the Vision in it with Seth. And so to now take Seth out of that, it kind of screams something's not right. I can find the official post that he had, but it is kind of long.
So Seth is reporting that Seth hurt his shoulder with that coast to coast headbutt spot that he pulled off on Cody. So if it's like is it like maybe a separated shoulder? That can't be that long of an injury, right? 2 months, 3 months.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is it a possibility
I,
that
y- you know what? I would believe it. We until Seth vacates that title, we don't actually know. But if he vacates that title, it's obviously popped up, but I don't. Do you think maybe he toughs it out until Saturday night's main event, or do you think he vacates it before then? He being Seth Rollins.
I think he vacates it. I don't.
Wow.
Maybe I'm just hoping, but I kind of hope that they turn this into like a Braun injured him so bad that he's vacating. Like, I don't really know how you get the belt off of him if he is like hurt and can't go.
He speared him so hard that his shoulder separated.
Well, yeah, but if you
Didn't Seth get hurt and right during that Bronson Reed feud he had, and he was out for like 3
yes,
months? How many times has
yeah,
Seth Rollins been injured, bro? I don't mean to be that guy, but are we looking at the Derrick Rose of the WWE?
I don't know that I would give him that compliment.
Yeah, I can't
I
give him
don't
that.
know. I think, like you said at the top of the show, like Seth
Anthony
is just kind
Davis,
of, yeah, that may be better.
just always a ticky tack injury, always out. I swear, just it feels like every single year Seth has been out for a period of time. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy that he
because
still has the faith of Triple H after all these injuries he's had over the years. Like, how can you
he was
build your
hurt
main
at
event scene
40.
around? Yeah, he was. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, going into 40 and then after 40 he had surgery. Bro, how
Yeah,
can you build a main event scene around a guy that's made of glass?
I don't know. People got pissed at Punk and AEW for being injury prone. So I don't know. Like, where's the same thing about Seth? And I hate that. Like, I don't want people to think we're like glorifying it or like wishing injury upon him. I'm really not. Like, I wish he was healthy.
No,
But
but this is the reality though. When
yeah,
you
you
build
got to
your
face the
main event scene
facts.
around, when you build your main event scene around 40-year-olds too, Mike, the bump cards. I mean, they got a long list on their bump card.
Yeah. I mean, but they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Then we need a youth push. But
Yeah,
maybe finally we've broken through and gotten through to somebody.
yeah.
But that remains to be seen because Chicago made Phil's coming to crush Braun Breaker. But I say all that to say this. Punk gets an exception. LA Knight gets an exception. Like, they're more fresh than a guy like Seth, a guy like Roman, who's been there 10, 15 years. There's not a whole lot left for them
Guy
to
like
do
Brock.
that you haven't seen. Or Brock.
Can you imagine them? Can you imagine if Brock gets shoehorned into that match and Brock wins the world?
Oh,
World?
God.
Can
Nope.
you
I'm
imagine what
done.
would happen?
I'm done till Rumble.
Oh man, that's it.
Yep. We're just going to be a nostalgia podcast.
Retro reviews.
Yep. But Ryan, on the pay-per-view review scale, what would you give this out of 10?
Crown Jewel 2025. I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. Give it a 6. I thought it was better than WrestlePalooza.
Oh, God, yeah. That's not a high bar to jump over.
Well, yeah, but they brought it this one compared to that one.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to go with a 6, which is kind of it's the same rank I gave Night of Champions. I kind of think it's similar too, because you had Cody Randy on that one for the King of the Ring.
I don't remember that. That happened.
Yeah, somewhere
Okay.
this year.
All right.
But it was kind of the same thing where it's like you had two kind of shoehorn main events, and then the rest of the card just kind of there, because that also had the Punk Cena match. This had Punk AJ, not Punk AJ, Cena AJ. But we do have to take a trip to a different company, just real quick before we get out of here.
Yeah.
We were bound for glory this weekend, and
Well, pause. Hold up. if you didn't watch that show, that was a real fun show. I would actually recommend that show.
The whole thing?
I would say watch the Leon Slater Javon Evans match and check the Trick Williams promo. Which Trick Williams has gotten really good on promos. I don't know if anybody's been catching that. And catch Trick Williams against Santana. Mike Santana.
I do have to give props. I caught a clip of Javon Evans versus Leon Slater. I wanted to go back and watch the whole match. I just haven't made it. We were gone this weekend, Halloween Horror Nights, which if you haven't been and you're a WWE fan, make sure you go by. It was really cool. Kind of tribute to Bray. But anyways, I saw a clip where they were going for the Yebu chop spot and Javon just RKO'd him. And I was like, you know what? I love that. Like, that is what this should be, not this stupid, like, oh, stand here and hit me. Like, nah, I'm trying to win.
It was a fun show, man. It was a fun show. I mean, there was some downs in the show, like the booking was a little questionable at the beginning of the show, especially in that little battle royal they did. But overall, man, the main event had an emotional ending with Mike Santana finally winning the big one. And his mom in the ring with him celebrating. It was a man, it bring a tear to your eye, man, watching it because where he came from and him taking a chance on himself, kind of doing like a Cody Rhodes type thing where he left a company that didn't see him in a main event role and went to another company and completely reinvented himself and proved that he can be a main event guy. Watch out for Mike Santana in the next couple of years. I can see him being WWE bound, and I'm sure he'll be a big star in WWE too when he gets here.
And they're always looking for that next big Hispanic star to cross over too, which they kind of have Penta now, but like Santana can speak English as well. So
yeah.
But
he ain't American, Mike. He's from Puerto Rico.
Oh God. How could you? Dude, I got fooled the other day. I wished it was true. Never mind. I'm not going to get on this dissertation. We're just going to leave this out of the show. Anyways, the Hardy Boys. Yeah, the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys. One final table. And I'm actually going to let you take the lead on this one. I think you liked this a little more than I did.
I don't see why the hate is so. Well, actually, I do know why the hate is so astronomical online for this because people hate Bully Ray.
Yeah.
And people got this weird obsession with TNA. Like the AEW basement loves to downplay anything TNA does because a lot of people, a lot of prominent figures in the internet wrestling community, like a Eric Bischoff, like a Jim Cornette, has been saying that TNA could take that number 2 spot from AEW. And the basement don't like that, man. And when TNA sells out 8,000 people in Lowell, Massachusetts, that makes them angry for some reason. So there was a lot of hate for this match. It was a tribute match. Did the guys move slow? Yeah. Was the strikes as crisp as they would have been 20 years ago? No. Were the fans invested in almost everything they did throughout the whole match? Absolutely. And that's what this was supposed to be, man. This was just a fan service match to book in the 2 greatest tag team rivals to ever do it. It bookended their careers, the Dudley Boys, and man, I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. It did its job.
I agree. I think the hate for TNA is a little weird.
You know why?
It is very obvious that, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch TNA, but it's like anything they do, people just crap on it. Like, I literally saw somebody that was like, I don't think wrestling appeals to me right now. And they listed all the companies and they didn't even give a reason for TNA. They just said like LOL. And I was like, I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you, whatever. But like you said, I mean, they're drawing houses, so it's
Yeah.
for somebody.
And
As far as the match goes, I thought it was cool to see Spike at the beginning. That was a nice little nod, callback. I thought it was cool WWE let them use some of the footage because you really
they
can't tell that story without.
they let them be the Dudley Boys. They
Yeah,
didn't really call them Team 3D. Well, they did call them that, but they mostly called them Dudley Boys. So that was pretty cool.
yeah, and I mean that's what it should be. You know what I mean? Like it's a tribute match. I even think the same thing. Like if I thought it was stupid that Sting couldn't like induct Luger because, like, man, it comes down to bigger than promotion war. And I know TNA is kind of I guess, like a farm league for WWE at this
It's like a
point, but
sister organization.
yeah, but I don't know. I kind of wish for stuff like that would happen more often between promotions, but I get it. It's capitalism in America, so why help? But regardless, uh the match was interesting. I think that somehow,
A lot of punches and kicks, huh?
yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of mobility. And how is Jeff the most mobile out of all of them? Like Bully Ray and Devon pretty much work like the safest style. Like, yeah, they took big bumps and stuff, and yeah, they did extreme rules and all that good stuff. But like Jeff was diving off of stuff for what 25 years now, and he's somehow the most mobile out of all of them. Like Matt. Oh, I love him. I love the Hardy Boys. Don't get me wrong, man. But like Matt, it kind of pains me to like see him walk. Like I genuinely hate that for him, that he looks like he's in pain. But
I
how
hate to
does
see
Jeff move better than him?
I hate to see the Dudley Boys move like that. Dudley's my favorite tag team growing up. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
Jeff I thought was the most washed up when he was in the WWE with Matt. And I was like, man, Matt actually looks better than Jeff at this point. But now it's the complete opposite.
I
Jeff
know.
looks better than Matt. Jeff will
I
like
don't know
having
what
one more
happened.
IC title run.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like outside of a couple things that Jeff did, for the most part, he was still kind of Jeff Hardy in there. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if in I hope and I pray that he's just gotten clean and that has helped everything, and his body is more healthy now. But yeah, it's just funny how life works sometimes, I guess. But yeah, the match it was just kind of there. I felt
It
bad for
was
Jeff because he hit his head on the ladder on that swanton.
it was emotional seeing those guys though, like doing a little face off at the beginning of the match. I got a little misty eyed. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people uh crying at all the John Cena matches, and I don't care. I couldn't care less about that. Dudley, man, the Hardys, that was my childhood, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's something really sad in wrestling about
That
the
we have to
old
rely on
guys.
guys from 1999 to draw a house.
Well, no, yes, but no. There's something sad about wrestlers, man, where it's just like you don't get it as much in like professional sports as you do in wrestling. Because like
Oh
guys
yeah,
just retire from the NFL and it's like, well, I had a good career, yada yada. Of course I would still want to play football. But like, dude, it's like taking the dog out back by the barn when a wrestler retires. Like it feels so sad. I'll never forget the freaking Last Ride Undertaker documentary. My God. Like it hurts because all these guys want to do is find the fountain of youth and wrestle forever. And you just can't. Eventually it's your time. So for the aspect of like these guys getting to do it one last time, I'm happy for them. It
yeah,
ain't making my greatest match of the year, but for the nostalgia bait that it was good.
yeah. And I thought the finish. I didn't hate the finish like a lot of people online did. Where the commentators they kind of just laid out for the whole finish. and Bully Ray accepted his fate and just let the Hardy Boys smash him through the table. I didn't have a problem with that because it's one final table. He knew what was about to happen and he let it happen, and went out on his shield. I don't have a problem with that. I thought it was a good story they told. Maybe they could have sped it up a little bit, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that
man.
was my only thing. It was just like chair shot, chair shot, chair shot, chair shot. Bully gets up, power bomb, ball game, and I was just kind of like, I mean, I don't know what else they could have done, but
They had their HBK Ric Flair type moment. Maybe
you
they
could
could have sped
call
it
it
up a little.
that.
They should have sped it up a little more.
Yeah, I think I just have a soft spot for the guys, so it's hard for
Yeah,
me to really critique them, and
I'll let it
they're
pass.
legends, so I'll let it pass.
Yeah,
Plus, it wasn't like the main event of WrestleMania or nothing, so
well, it's bound for glory, pal. What are you talking about? It might as well be WrestleMania.
well, some would say.
Let's get out.
But anyways, like you said, let's get out of here. It's been a long week. We'll be back next week. I think AEW Wrestle Dream is this weekend.
Is that this? I thought that was next.
Oh, well,
You may be right.
let's use the power of the internet. AEW Wrestle Dream is going to be October 18th this weekend, pal. So
Wow.
strap in. We'll be back next week for the 4-hour extravaganza that is AEW Wrestle Dream. But as always, make sure you're checking out the socials. Things have kind of slowed down a little bit, but that's because TikTok recently has just hated my guts. But I've been getting a lot of love on Instagram. We passed 5,000 followers the other day, and we're nearing 12,000 on TikTok. So I think we were at like maybe 1,000 combined at the start of the year. So to be at 17 nearing the end of the year is absolutely crazy. But make sure you guys come back next week. Make sure you take care of yourselves over the weekend and enjoy all the wrestling that we have. Have a good one.